Travis.
everybody. It's Tom.
It's Travis.
Another episode of Give Us the Launch Codes. As you can tell by the title and clip art, we're just going to jump into this one because it's full of bullshit.
He says that he says that as if we already know what the title and clip art slash thumbnail are, and we don't. Not at time of recording. I'll
But
figure
I'm
that out
recording it
after
like
this.
we do. I'm recording it like we do. I like when we do that. But no,
We
first,
we
before we start
yeah.
though, before we start,
Mm-hmm.
please, folks, don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon. We have 7 exclusives and more coming. We'll have an eighth one. When you're done watching this one, you can go to our Patreon and watch the new one.
Yeah. Mm.
It's about our presidential power fantasies. But
Mm.
go check out our Patreon, $5 a month. We're still cheaper than gas, and we'll probably stay that way for the rest of the year. So what a great way to not spend money on gas, I guess. And don't forget, we have our Instagram, our TikTok, YouTube, and the platform formerly known as Twitter. Like, subscribe, follow, notification buttons, all that jazz to help support us as we try to, basically get office spacing and hire people so we can do more
Sure.
wacky
Yeah.
stuff and more fun stuff and have a bigger production value instead of just, being at my house, as you can see by my children's learning posters of numbers and colors.
Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thought he was sitting in his one of his son's bedrooms.
We have learning in every room, Travis. Every room is
Yeah.
learning.
Also, if
Eh,
you hear me munching, you're not watching on YouTube, and you hear me like munching on something, I'm having dinner.
Oh,
I'm
what you
having
having?
dinner.
What you having, my friend?
Chili cheese fries, and I
Ooh,
decided to do the extra order of pastrami on top.
you gotta have the extra order pastrami. Come on,
Yeah.
you gotta have an extra order pastrami. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what's there's never I've never heard of a bad thing happening with extra pastrami.
Mm-hmm.
But would you like to get into the funness of our country right now?
Yeah. I guess we'll just open up. Was it like a few? Was it last week?
Literally, not even last weekend because we're not even a week away from it. It was last Sunday.
Yeah.
Like last Friday. No, it's like Saturday. Sorry, it was last Saturday because Sunday morning when I went to work, I heard about it. So
It
yeah,
was. Yeah. There was a warehouse full of toilet paper in Ontario.
what's with our country and toilet paper this past like decade? Dude, this within this decade, our country and toilet paper. What happened to Americans just TPing houses? Now we fight over them and
Yeah,
we burn them.
yeah, that's the true sign of economic excess is when we toilet paper houses. We weren't concerned about toilet paper as a scarcity or something that could be expensive for some reason.
Hey, next
Now,
time when our sons propose to their wives, they'll be handing toilet paper. It'll be that precious. Ah,
now they yeah, this dude uh is it is it pronounced Chamel
no,
or
it's like
Camel?
Camille. Yeah, it's like
Kamel,
Camille.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm reading off of an ABC7 post about it. Kamal Abdul Karim, yeah, he destroyed a warehouse in Ontario full of toilet paper by starting fires,
with a
um,
blunt.
with a blunt, um, claiming that and it was like a populist thing.
Yeah,
Was I'm assuming he worked at the warehouse, right?
he did. He was a
Yeah,
he was a worker. Was is the
he
big thing.
was a worker there,
His
and he
gripe
felt
was
like he
underpay.
was, yeah, yeah, he was complaining about not getting paid
Hmm.
well enough and just
And
being
also
fucking
too, I think he
postal.
also said something quick. I think also in the post, it was not only just about pay, but about like, hey, you also understaff us. Like we could use a couple more bodies. Like most America, as we see whenever you go shopping or eating somewhere, you'll always notice there's a staffing. Like, where's more people on the labor labor budget? Because labor. Every job I've worked at, it's all about labor. Labor is what breaks you. Labor. Even though it's like it'd be nice to have just one extra pair of hands. It's
Yeah,
every job.
right.
Most blue collar jobs anyway. Just need an extra pair of hands. But the thing is, so he's 29. I believe he's a resident of Highland, and he
Mm-hmm.
works at that mill. It's about 2 million square feet, and $500 million worth of toilet paper was, you know, burnt
Yeah,
to a crisp.
this is a San Bernardino County, which is not, for those who don't live close to it, is relatively not far from where we live.
No, it's a good
This is like a
hour.
local news story. In fact, I was kind of surprised when it turned into like uh, it turned into like a more national story.
Oh,
It's
and we
like, oh
know,
shit, this is like our backyard.
yeah,
Of
and it's a national story now because the employers want to make an example of them.
course they do.
Yeah.
I would if I was in their position. I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
That's just my class interest talking.
Oh, of course. No, I understand that, but the way they're making an example of him is very an excessive use of legal tactics because it's like, oh, and the lawyer of I think it was Kelly something paper, that lawyer said, we're not going to just charge him for the one fire. We're going to charge him per pallet he set on fire. I'm like, okay, you want to give this guy like life to make an example to everyone else. There's a
Yeah.
difference of saying like, oh no, we're going to charge him for the fire. Like they could have said that. We're going to charge him for the fire, for the reckless endangerment. No, the lawyer literally said we're going to charge him also per pallet and turn every pallet he set on fire as an individual separate fire and then tack on the warehouse fire. So it's like, oh, he's getting charged for 7 fires, even though it was one. See, that's excessive though. I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, oh, that's class interest. That's the legal system. That's a lawyer doing his job. This is excessive, dude.
Yeah, no, the
This
San
is different.
Bernardino, the DA's office really brought out their most ruthless on this one.
Yeah, and that doesn't help their case though. This is like optics. This is the equivalent of Luigi when he was arrested. You don't need 22 cops escorting one person from point A to point B. Hell, the guy in Ohio who murdered those 4 college students had one cop the entire
Hmm.
time escorting him back and forth. You don't need 20. So that's what I'm saying. This is excessive. The optics aren't good on this. You don't do this shit. I get it. He did property damage. I get it. He put his coworkers' lives at risk. I get it. He burnt down a building, property damage. And I also get that there's an environmental tactic too to this because that's a
Yep.
lot of plastic that got burned. That's very dangerous fumes. And the warehouse
Hmm.
material itself, I understand that.
Yep.
But when they said he's going to get charged for 7 fires, they're like, okay, now you're making this into a fucking to me, that's when you lose public support because you're making it something more than what it needs to be and what this
Yeah.
guy was fighting for. Now you're letting us go like this. Now I'm on this guy's side.
If I would draw a contrast between him and Luigi, um, not that I condone murder, um, I I'll just say with Luigi Mangione, all he did was shoot a guy, and the immediate impact of him shooting that guy was that health the kind of like shitty was like AI death panel stuff, like who gets covered and who gets not covered for health insurance. A lot of health insurance companies pause that, and probably you could argue a lot of lives were saved because of that reaction.
Yeah.
Whereas burning a whole warehouse full of toilet paper um is ultimately going to like increase. It's going to probably increase prices of toilet paper
Oh, that too.
throughout the. So it's
Shortages.
like, okay, it's gonna
Maybe shortages.
hurt the consumer a bit. And I'm not saying like which one is better or worse, but I will say like, one technically hurts us more than the other, and it's not the crime where someone actually died.
Well, but here's the thing though. This is what happens when you push your workers. This is going to get this way anyway. We've had strikes in the past in our country that have hurt production lines and people getting the supplies they need, even though they had nothing to do with it. But people were fighting for their workers' rights in the 1910s, 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Even my grandfather during the 70s and 80s, he was on the front lines beating the shit out of union busters and also too with cops. I know
Mm-hmm.
the generation of our grandfathers and great grandfathers were beating the hell out of cops and union busters for workers' rights. That's the only reason why we have medical, dental,
Oops.
vision, benefits, sick pay, time off, PTO, half time, double time, triple time, high time, low time, overtime.
Yeah.
Because our grandfathers and great grandfathers, and I'm not saying, oh yeah, go, fuck the police. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they were beating the shit out of cops while the cops were beating the shit out of them because that's who employers were asking and demanding to help them with their union busting. Officers of the
Mm-hmm.
law. We learned this in history class. We see pictures of it from the 1910s and 20s and 30s. Cops beating the hell out of workers and workers beating the shit out of cops, all over the employer being a cheap bastard.
All
And this
those
is
being organized actions. It wasn't just one guy clashing with the police. It was the labor force that that was on strike or picketing or whatever that was clashing with the police. It was and that's the difference between that and Abdul Karim and Mangione. These are just lone wolves, and they could be easily, I'd say, with some validation, written off as just people with personal agitations. They did this on their own. They're they unilaterally decided like I'm going to be the one to fix all this instead of um making some sort of effort to like get with a group of people and make some fundamental change to where you can't just write it off as like one crazy guy. And
I'd
and
argue that.
that's kind of the spirit of so that's sort of like when it's a bunch of it's one thing, it's one guy that does some civil disobedience, to put it lightly. It's another thing when it's a bunch of people that do it. And when a
I would
bunch of people do it, that's when the world pays attention. In like I mean, like the leaders of the world like really pay attention as like, oh shit,
Well, I would push back on that though, because two things. The first one is people are noticing because since then there have been almost seven other warehouse fires within this week
Yeah.
alone. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Miami, Ohio, a couple more in California, and I think one more in a southern state. All of them warehouses, two of them Amazon. So people are already noticing.
Shit.
People are noticing though. So it actually has had an effect because other warehouses are burning. Yes, it's going to affect our supply lines. And again, there's environmental damage that pisses me off because there's no winning this. But I think you said it before though. When there's nothing peaceful left to do and you push per person to the point, what do you expect? It's like
Yep.
that quote. I think Malcolm X said it. I know I've heard Denzel Washington quoted a lot. Is the
Mm-hmm.
sheep violent for saying I don't want to be eaten by the wolf?
Yep.
Is the sheep violent if he says the wolf comes by next time, I'm gonna fuck him up? Is the sheep violent?
This was I mean, this is kind of my, to get global here, that was like my reaction to um the attacks on October 7th in Israel by Hamas. It's like, well, this is what like you had these like 2 million
Mm-hmm.
people effectively imprisoned, cramped together in a tight space for, a couple decades in an open air prison, not a lot of freedom of movement. Um, like you're really surprised. First of all, you're really surprised that there any sense of government was overrun by, a crazy jihadist group.
Mm-hmm.
And are you surprised that the jihadist group was able to pull off something like that? If you are, you're stupid. Like if that fucking shocked you, that oh
You're an
my
idiot.
god, how could these people how could these people have chosen to react this way? It's like, well, you haven't. What the fuck were they supposed to do? They
Yeah.
tried the march of return, but you shot at them. So you
Mm-hmm.
tried they tried the peaceful method, but you motherfuckers shot at them, and the rest of the world was like, well, Israel is we just let them do whatever they want. That's how this works, and we're gonna be their best friend. That's how this works. It's like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? And no, I am. This isn't. And just to be clear, because in case said stupid people are listening to this, no, I am not endorsing the massacre of innocent civilians. I think that's bad. I think killing, you know,
Anyone. Just killing is
yeah,
bad.
yeah, children, babies, kidnapping those people, those are bad. But I'm also a determinist because I'm smart. And I'm like, and again, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
If you didn't think this was on the horizon, then you're stupid. Then you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
extreme
that's what I'm saying.
example, but
No,
yeah.
but it is the example because I'd say burning seven warehouses down that affect the environment nearby, supply chains, jobs, and production prices is extreme. So that's the same thing. What do you think would happen? Because as someone, as we've seen in the news recently with this specific guy in Ontario, he was paid at close to around 48,000 a year. That was his annual salary. And the cost of living wages in the Ontario area are about 65K.
Yeah.
So it's just the paying price. That's all it is. And the thing is, the peaceful part, when all the peaceful stuff of protesting, striking, walking out, the simple like what you did with the writer's strike, for example, you guys did it the peaceful way. You
Yeah.
think in another 10 years of you guys doing this shit, it's going to be peaceful? Like, really? I'm not saying writers are inherently violent, but you guys are going to keep getting pushed and pushed the same way. It's just what do you expect when peace gets exhausted to the point of they don't know what else to do. It's human nature. They're going to get violent. Again, our great grandfathers and grandfathers did it. They did
Just
it.
to just to clarify, I'm not a member of the WGA. I merely volunteered for those pickets. That's what I was doing.
Well, but those people
Just to
who
be
are,
clear.
well, with the people who are a part of it, though, give it
Hmm.
4 more writer strikes of pure bullshit. Let's see what happens. And also, too, I'll say this again. Okay, if one lone guy compared to organization, what do you think our government's going to do if 100 guys organize to burn warehouses down?
Hmm.
You know what's going to happen to them? They're going to get shot in the street and hung.
Yeah.
So either way, it doesn't fucking matter. It's
And you
that
know what?
there's
It's interesting you brought up the writer strike because actually, like this year, the the contract was that they renegotiated is actually set to expire. So obviously they're going to negotiate again. They already got a deal.
good because they know
So
what's going to
it
happen
doesn't
if they
look like
didn't.
there's going to be a strike. So it looks like the studios look they I don't know exactly like what went on or what was said or the motivations, but it seems like the studios are like we don't want to go through this again.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. See, that's employers being smart and not being stupid. But again, I'm glad you brought up a studio. One studio is still doing some bullshit that's gonna piss people off. We just found out about today, huh, Travis? So it kind of is a double-edged sword. It's kind of a take a penny,
I
leave a penny.
I need to look. I need to pull that up.
Yeah.
Because you
Yes.
shared this with me,
Yeah, the
and I
studio.
lost my fucking mind.
Yeah, and by
Like
the
you
way,
shared that like a half hour ago, and I lost my fucking mind looking
and
at
keep in
this.
mind this, folks, what we're about to say, two movies are coming out this year that we all know are going to make $1 billion. So
So this is from More Perfect Union.
mhm.
Definitely recommend
Read it.
following their stuff. Marvel is a little clickbaity
Marvel
headline.
Studios, specifically, Marvel
Yeah.
Studios.
Marvel is abandoning America for the UK to dodge funding workers' health care. They're specifically referring to the movie studio,
Yeah, not this isn't yeah,
not necessarily all of Marvel Comics. Marvel Studios has been gutting its workforce in Atlanta, Georgia,
like crazy.
which is like Atlanta, Georgia's been where they've been shooting. It's like where they shoot most of their movies. I actually been
Yep.
hearing recently Atlanta, Georgia, which used to be like a big film hub, like in the previous decade, is kind of it's
Yeah.
kind of going down.
Money, money, money.
So
Money.
yeah, they're moving production to the UK. So in the future, Marvel Studios movies are going to be shot in the UK. Disney laid off nearly 1,000 workers this week, including 8% of Marvel Studios' workers, leaving behind only a skeleton crew of contract workers. So why the UK? Why are they going to the UK?
Mm,
Marvel doesn't have to pay a penny for workers' health care, it says. Because in the UK, they have a little something called the NHS, the National Health Service, which is basically you remember like what Bernie talked about with Medicare for all and like
yeah.
how like every like too cool for Democrat leftist that you know is like yeah we should do Medicare for all. It's basically that. Although
I mean,
I think Medicare for all is actually better than that. But it's basically taxpayer funded healthcare, public healthcare.
you mean what Mexico just got?
Sure, yeah. Like, yeah, Marvel doesn't have to pay for people's health care because it's already covered in taxes in the UK. I am I am losing my fucking mind over this. I have just it's like you're gonna put so many healthcare workers out of work when you do the Medicare for all. You suck, commie Bernie Sanders. It's like privatized healthcare is causing jobs to be lost in
Yeah,
America.
one of
Like,
many.
because
And
it
is
is
this,
that expensive
but by
here.
the
It's
way,
like,
this is before. this is what's happening before this Marvel move. It's called call centers, in India. It's called all the
Hmm.
shit that was happening in the early 2000s and 2010. This isn't anything new. That's the sad part.
But
This is
but
why
this
this
is
is why
like
everything has made in China on it since the fucking 90s.
but this is different. This isn't just like we're moving the factory to a third world country so that brown people can do this for pennies on the dollar, basically slave wages. This isn't even that. Like, these are film workers. The UK does have a thriving film industry, so they're just moving into that. It's not like they treat their workers like shit over there.
They
This is just
kind of do. There's been stories. We've talked about it. There's been some stories, especially out of the Game of
okay.
Thrones production.
Well, okay, all right.
It's just they're
But
doing it with healthcare.
again, compare this to like
Slave
Chinese
labor wages.
sweatshops,
Oh, I know that, but it starts with not paying us our fucking health
but
care and our benefits and our
yeah,
money.
but it's just the fact that it's like, just the fact that that's one less cost because the UK is doing something good that we're not, and it's actually something good, and it actually reduces business expenses. Like if we had just had Medicare for all, if we just had this program, I don't know if that would have given Marvel. I'll just say this: that would have given Marvel less incentive to do this because it's like, okay, we don't have to pay for healthcare, so we don't have to spend as much money because we don't have to deal with healthcare because the government covers it. It's covered our taxes, and it's covered for our taxes for like a couple of dollars
Hey,
when we pay.
but Travis,
Fuck.
then the hippies wouldn't have a reason to work. Because in America, that's the only incentive to get a job, healthcare and benefits. That's why people work here in America. Not for like, I have a passion or I have something I'd like to do or I just want to do a job. No, the only reason why I'm doing 40 hours a week is healthcare.
Uh, As per the Wall Street Journal, Marvel leaves Georgia in favor of a studio outside London. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Uh,
Wet the
where
whistle.
Disney has a long-term lease. Spider-Man: Brand New Day and the next two Avengers movies are being filmed there. Reasons for the move include cheap labor and studios not being required to subsidize workers' medical expenses as the
Yeah, remember
UK's
what
universal health care.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Remember again, that's why Game of Thrones was filmed around the Irish Ireland area is because they pay Irish people cheaper than American people.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
it's a mixture. It's a mixture of okay, a country's doing it right, but also too, Britons cost less than Americans. It's like Schindler's List again.
Yeah.
Germans
But
are most ex
also, if you don't have to worry about going bank, okay, I'm not saying like the I'm not saying that they deserve to get paid less, but if you don't have to worry about going bankrupt because you're sick,
oh,
like
that's a different
how much
conversation.
money
I'm
do
just
you
saying
really
it's a
need?
oh
So,
well, you
like
should be
compared to us,
well. Hey, we don't get enough for still our medical bills.
fuck,
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Travis. We don't get paid enough for our medical bills here. You better hope to God you never get cancer in this fucking country.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
keep
matter. It's all the whole point of one, this is what happens when you like you said, privatize healthcare. And two, when you put where were you born nationally, and that's how you get paid on the bracket of the stockholders.
and now it makes me wonder, like, is this the reason why? Well, okay, actually, I don't know the answer because that's more complicated. Because like,
Oh, what's the
I
question? What's the question?
well, I was thinking of like UK, and I'm like, is UK gonna be like a new hub
It could
for
be.
for film production? Because the
Remember,
the
look
new
what it did
Stargate
with Star
show,
Wars. Look what it did
the
with
new
Star Wars.
Stargate show that Amazon
Yeah,
ordered. I thought, okay, they got to film that in Vancouver, right? Because the TV shows had always been in British Columbia. It was like a
no,
Canadian staple, even though they were depicting American military, which has made it funnier. No, they're shooting that in the UK.
yeah. Well, look what the new
Canada has
trilogy.
healthcare.
Look what the new, oh yeah, well, look what the new trilogy did with Star Wars. Look what a bunch of other big, okay, Game of Thrones, even though the Star Wars trilogy, the new one was horrible, seven, eight, and nine, those episodes were all filmed in London. Game of Thrones, London and in London and Ireland.
Haven't they always filmed Star Wars in England though? Because I think the first movie was like shot in Pinewood Studios.
But then
No.
you see what I'm saying? The pay,
Mm-hmm.
fine. You're right. Even further, that proves my point. the road that's
Hmm.
been paved for this. I mean, crap, look at okay, Band of Brothers. I mean, yeah, I know it's filmed in the it was World War II European theater, but an American production took place in the British countryside. It's all the same thing. It's just this road has been paved way before by movies that we all hail as classics and masterpieces. And now it's just like, screw it, let's just do it because one, you're paying people cheaper, and the healthcare part. It's just it's just a double whammy thing, triple whammy, fuck at this point. And look at what now it's happened to us. Hey, what happened to all the American jobs? America making being America great again. Fucking or all this shit. And this is why this one guy and six others or seven others at this point have been burning down fucking warehouses across the country. Because this is what happens when you don't just take care of your workers. Let's be honest, Travis. Travis,
Yep.
the working class is a simple people, and that's not a dig. We
Hmm.
just want to, the majority of us stereotypical middle class workers just want a job that makes us comfortable at home. Do you really think that every fucking American wants their kid to go to Princeton or Yale or Berkeley? No.
Hmm.
We just want them to go to a regular fucking school, get B's and A's, one C, go to fucking high school, be in some extracurricular. We don't give a shit if you're doing all this, AP class crap or anything. Just be a kid, be happy, go on a date, yada yada. I get them a car, they go to college, and then they get a job, and then they marry, fuck, have kids, move on. The American dream is mundane. That's what people don't get. The American dream isn't, like live the bro streamer life, get a yacht, travel the world, fuck Filipina chicks, do awesome champagne shots, do Jello shots off strippers, wear fucking, awesome clothing, go see concerts at the VIP room. No, no, people don't get it. The American dream is mundane. That's the beauty of part of it. If you think, look at most of the stuff we watched growing up. It's the adventure that maybe took place in this one story setting was the awesomeness that happened to these kids and family. That's just one story out of a whole lifetime. The most of it is just we woke up, had breakfast, went to school, came back, had practice. Dad was fixing the lawnmower again. Oh, my brothers and I were wrestling. My sister is a crush and all this. Oh, we had dinner, watched a fun, classic horror film like The Thing, went to bed, woke up, repeat. On the weekends we had someone had travel ball or we had the barbecue or we had this one family road trip we do once a year and it's just a horrible mess inside the station wagon but we all love it. Oh, me and my two brothers share a room. You know what I mean? Like the American dream is mundane. It's not all fancy shit and awesome tech and cool stuff and stunting, as the new kids say, as we've heard, and with like excessive wealth and spending. The American dream is that mom and dad go once a year to that nice restaurant for only their anniversary. That's the thing. And we don't want no one. Do you think every single fucking person in this country wants to be a millionaire? No, we have to be millionaires just to fucking survive.
Hmm.
There's this one guy, this one business tycoon, Scientologist asshole. I forget his name, but oh God, you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I just
Yeah,
laughed. You said call him a Scientologist
he is.
asshole.
He's an out. Yeah, because Scientology is a cult. Fuck them. Fuck
True.
them.
True.
No, but he's this outspoken Scientologist. I think his first name's Craig. I could be wrong, but he has this YouTube channel and he does all this talks about, money management, like management skills and like how to make money
Oh
selling
my
stuff.
God.
He was on I think the Iced Coffee Hour, and he said like if you're not making at minimum $400,000 a year, you're basically a loser.
Hmm.
And I'm like this,
Hmm.
what? What are you fucking talking about?
Hmm.
We think about that. Think about the concept of every single person at the bare minimum bottom line making $400,000 a dollar. Yeah, I don't want to be in that country. That means shit is bad if everyone has to make
Well,
$400,000 just to be at the bare minimum.
also, by rules of inflation, he's just going to raise that number in 10 years when he gives that
I'm gonna
quote.
look up this asshole's name so they know it. He really is an asshole. He's such a fucking douchebag.
I, you know, uh,
I'm just hey. Oh, Grant Cardone.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I'm just saying. But that's the thing, and this is why again, this is why we're seeing this shit of burning warehouses down. Once the peaceful stuff doesn't work, again, protesting, boycotting, walkouts, strikes. That
Yep.
shit doesn't work, which is peaceful. And by the way, unfortunately, as we know, during strikes and protests, stuff still gets, people still get hurt. I was dating a girl once whose dad worked for, I think it was ExxonMobil, and apparently, and he went on a strike once. And I was like, oh, wow, damn, okay, well, hope everything works out. And I'm like, wait, why is he taking two suitcases with him? And she's like, oh, he's going to be living at the plant for a while. Why? Because of the strike. I was like this, you're gonna have to explain that to me. Why does a strike have to do with him living there? Oh, it's for his safety because it gets so violent outside the fence that the company realized that it's just better to have bunks available at the workplace for them to live in as long as the strike's going on so they don't get hurt. And I'm like, you see the problem in everything you
Oh
just said, right?
God.
That if a strike, and here's the thing, this wasn't his first strike. This man has been to like three or four in his entire career. So the fact that the company's like this, oh yeah, this is going to be so common that it'll be so violent at these strikes that we'll have our workers like while we build facilities throughout the country, we'll build an
Hmm.
extra housing area for our workers to bunk at and live at as the strike goes on. I'm like, I would quit. I would fucking take a vacation. Are you fucking serious?
Hmm.
I have to live at work so I don't get killed while walking in and out of work?
I mean, it reminds me of like some of the stuff you hear about, like rich people building like bunkers and similar type of bunkers to like, I don't know, when the climate collapse happens,
Oh, like all
or
the bunkers,
basically
all the
like
bunkers in
hide.
New Zealand. Yeah,
Mhm.
all the doomsday bunkers are in New Zealand because everyone with a G5 is literally just about 20 minutes to 3 hours away from safety while we all die.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and that's a thing, folks, by the way. New Zealand has a ton of underground apocalyptic bunkers. It's not just here in Colorado, like Mr. Beast was showing, or New Mexico. It's all in fucking New Zealand because it's the mathematically it was found out that if there was an atomic, fucking war or other some national disaster, New Zealand would just be in the bubble of survival. So they're all going to move there and live out while we, die.
Yep.
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 So no, it's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and for her, by the way, she was like, "Oh, that's normal. I don't know why you're making it a weird thing." And I'm like, I don't know because I would not like my girlfriend's dad to fucking die. What the fuck?
Reminds me of a reminds me of like
Fuck.
like when I was dating a girl. You remember the girl.
Yes.
Um,
You remember my girl? We could say the same thing. Shit.
he or she, like this is like freshman year of high school, and it was like occasionally like so I had to have my parents drive us around for dates, and I don't know, she'd see my house. It's like a shabby little. Well, it's not okay. It's not shabby. I won't say that. A decent little one-story suburban house in Lakewood, and then my dad drove like an old used convertible, and she'd be like, "Wow, I didn't know your family was rich." I didn't say this to her, but I was like, "No, I think you're just poor."
Here's the thing.
But
Keep that mindset down now for the average American.
yeah,
Dude,
I was like,
okay, you remember you knew me. I lived in an apartment for the
mm-hmm,
majority of my life.
yeah,
And remember, okay, she thought you were rich in Lakewood. I've been to your house. First of all, it's just your mom just keeps it clean. That's all your mom does. I
she
mean,
does. Yes,
side note, can I do a side tangent? Doesn't that
yeah,
baffle you that people are like, wow, you live in a nice house? And it's like, no, I'm just not a fucking slob. Like, God,
yeah.
I have been to some houses, big houses, whatever size you want. I'm like this. I think the clothes are moving. Like, I think those clothes on the ground are moving.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, okay, you've seen where I live,
yeah.
apartment. I've
Hmm.
seen where you live. It's a nice place. Remember when we used to go over to the Rossmore kids' houses?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Fucking
okay, this is upscale.
dude.
Well,
You ever been to Keith's house? Oh my God. I was just like this. Okay, maybe Mormonism isn't that bad. It's like, God damn. It's like, I was thinking like this, you know what? If I was a chicken here, I would get pregnant 9 times too. Shit, if I was in a rich house, my legs would be open all the time. Let's just pop out babies. Fucking dump them in me.
Um,
I would never leave the bed. I just have my legs posted up all the time. But I'm just like, oh, remember when we did that one student film in Balboa Island? No, no, sorry, on Second Street. Yeah, in Balboa.
uh-huh.
That was a fucking nice house.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that
then
was.
hey, and remember what the director told us? Oh, dude, this is the cheap house. And I'm like, what the fuck? He told me that. He's like, this is like a cheap house compared to what was next. And I'm like, yo, what? Hey, it's our producer. Ooh, she's got Snapple and she's
Yeah.
got peace.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was my
look,
wife, everyone. She has just
look
come home
who,
from work. You might have caught a glimpse of tater tot there if you're watching on the video.
look who's in a happy marriage.
Mm.
Oh, but yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though. But it's like that concept. And now, okay, let's take that concept now. The 1% so fucking out of touch because of their corporate line and shareholders and all that shit. So out of touch from what we're
Or,
dealing with because
or
we
worse,
just,
they're like,
oh, that's right. Or worse, they're eating and
you,
raping babies.
well, yeah, well, yes. I was thinking of like the in terms of personality, like when you listen to Peter Thiel or Alex Karp or fuck,
Or
even the
fucking,
CEO of Kalshi, and it's just like you listen to them talk
no, they're out of
about their
touch.
views of the world, and it's like it's not even that they're out of touch. They're just like
Inhuman.
they're just evil sociopaths.
Oh, wasn't the guy who runs Nestle said that water should not be a human right? Wasn't that Nestle, the guy who owns Nestle? Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, hell,
Where
even
it's
look at
like
the,
they're saying this stuff. They find themselves saying shit that they really should keep them to themselves, but they're feeling more comfortable to
yeah,
give off their psychobabble views of the world that are increasingly misanthropic.
because we're
And
just lambs to the
I,
slaughter to them.
yeah, Elon Musk is like totally deranged, and he'll say some crazy shit where it's like, do you actually believe in this? There's that whole thing about like, this sort of cult philosophy amongst like Silicon Valley tech bros. It's like
Oh God,
we
yeah.
need to like advance technology because eventually like the AI is going to become our god, and we need to bring it's like we need to bring about this to happen instead of looking at it and being like, wait, shouldn't we
Nah.
trying if you actually believe this, why are you totally okay with it? Why do you want this to happen?
Hmm.
Is this like the is this like when you listen to right-wing libertarians where they talk about, the world where the corporations just rule everything and the government is basically, absent, and it's like, do you actually think you're going to be on top if that happens? Like you're going to be, the thief, one of the thief lords, or do you think you're going to be one of the peasants?
You know,
um,
the whole thing too with that mindset, folks, when it comes to the way employers, and I'm not talking about managers. Managers are part of their cog anyway. I'm talking about employers, like the people who are running companies and all that stuff.
mhm.
Um, Sheep are always afraid that the wolf will be the one to eat them, yet it ends up being the shepherd who cooks them up for dinner. Sheep will spend their entire
Mm,
lives scared of the wolf, but who ends up actually the one eating them? Selling them, butchering
yeah.
them, cutting them down, taking their cloths off. Which, by the way, I know someone who's actually going to say who knows about sheep. Yes, they need to be shorn, because if they get too woolly, it actually will kill them and suffocating them.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
know that, you cock-sucking fuck faces. Talking about the whole
I was
concept of the.
thinking that. I was like,
I'm thinking of the whole concept of the sheep's life. They're
yeah,
always afraid of the wolf, always afraid of the wolf. But who's going to actually be the one to consume them in the end?
yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole that's why we just want a livable wage. We don't want to be rich millionaires. We like to look at them because we're always happy to see that one American who gets to live the high life. Good for you. Oh, you get to be, your toes licked by supermodels, they say for athletes, superstars and all that. We just want a comfortable life. Hell, you know what I
Hmm.
would wish we could all go back to? One car for the family, because that's all you really needed. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, yeah, but this is before mom started going to work too.
Yeah, because well, the double income means now two people get to get taxed.
Hmm.
That's what I mean. Like, wouldn't it be nice to go back to the where? Well, hey, okay, fine. Who cares if mom's working? Wouldn't it be nice if our public transportation system was working so we didn't have to? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, think about it. Let's say for you, because you and your wife have to drive far. let's say the transportation system was so great, you guys only had one car, but you could leave it at home because the bus you took got you to and back to work on time all the time. And the traffic was great because everyone was on a bus.
The
Or
amount of
the
money I would save
the
doing that.
lightning rail, as we've been the high-speed rail that for some reason are the Japanese who we beat in World War II have it fucking down to a T where some of them can go 280 miles per hour, by the way. They
Yeah,
have
they practically pioneered on the high speed rail concept with the Shinkansen railways,
yet
and
yet the winners and victors of World War II can't get their shit together.
no, it's because well we don't want to bother a bunch of rich folks in Central Valley, so we've been trying to do this,
Yeah.
workaround and
No,
cost
you know how great
overruns
that would
and
be if what like everything that we promised, read about, and thought about and were fighting for in the 40s was
yeah.
real. I mean, hell, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Where the fuck's that shit? And I like how people always say, like, hey, where are hoverboards from Back to the Future 2? Motherfucker, we were supposed to be at Pluto by now.
You, I was just listening to someone talk about
God
the
damn
high
it.
speed rail thing. He said, one of the problems with this conversation about like how much it's going to cost and is the cost worth it? It's like, well, here's the thing. Once you actually build it and get it working, no one's going to talk about the cost anymore.
No,
No, you think people in Japan talk about how much the Shinkansen railways cost? No,
no.
no, they don't talk about that.
Well,
They're
what's,
just
hey,
they're just like, oh, I'm glad I can move from like Tokyo to
you know,
I
their
don't
sidewalks don't have parking spaces, right? In most parts of Japan. That's the thing. Like, that just shows you. Everyone walks in Japan, really.
know.
That's what I'm saying. You just said it. Their streets are designed without sidewalk parking for cars because you can just walk 15 minutes to, Johto Station and get to fucking work.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, since you're speaking about do people talk about how much it costs? What's that great American line from a great American movie about a great American sport involving, the dad and the son doing that great, awesome American thing in the backyard? Oh, fuck. I think Kevin Costner was in it in Ray Liotta. Oh, that's right. If you build it, they will come, you cunts. You fucking cunts.
Yeah.
If you just build shit, it'll get used. Everything's gonna cost money. You okay, here's a fun little think about it. Wouldn't it be great if my kid can learn how to bike? Ah, that bike's gonna cost money. The helmet and pads are gonna cost money. Oh, you might have to pay for lessons. That'll cost money. I just bought the fucking bike, and guess what? Within 4 days, he's literally riding a bike.
Yeah.
It's the same concept of just buy the fucking thing, and then you'll be fine.
So
Just
you
build the
mentioned
fucking.
like, especially you mentioned sports fields, like, the only time I ever hear about people complaining about like, it's like when you build a new stadium, it's like they'll complain about the costs, and then they build it, no one cares, and then they'll complain about the costs retroactively after the team moves and they have to tear down the stadium, where it's like, why just stay put, just stay
Get the
where you
team.
are.
Yeah, fucking San Diego. God, I hate the Chargers being here. Fucking hate it. Go back. They need
Yeah.
to be in. It's so bad. But that's the thing. This
I
whole
apologize to
thing.
St. Louis. Go Rams.
Well, they were originally LA anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. I'm talking about Chargers, dude. They just stay there. The San Diego Superchargers was written by Kiss for a reason.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about what we're saying in this episode, folks, is do we condone the actions of these seven lone people who set warehouses on fire, potentially almost, yes, thankfully God, no coworkers died, but putting coworkers' lives at risk, the environmental damage is on a high, and all the other things is like production lines and all that stuff. Yeah, it's bad. But what did you expect? As Travis was saying with his analogy with the Israelis and Palestinians and all that stuff in Gaza, what did you expect was going to happen after almost 100 years of fighting for workers' rights? The term is fighting. You can only
Hmm.
do it peacefully for so long if you're using the word fighting in it. Sooner or later, someone's going to get hurt. Hell, I forget who the kid's name is. I think he was about 25. I don't know if you heard this in the news. He tracked down the address of a CEO for a tech company, threw a Molotov at his mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Was that was Sam Altman's house that he
Yes.
Molotov, right?
Yeah,
The
there you go. Thank
OpenAI
you.
CEO?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. Um, People are going to say, "Oh my God, he could have killed killed the family, the strangers, the domestic terrorists." Okay, I think people forgot our own history that back in again the 19 fucking hundreds when or if anyone's seen There Will Be Blood set in 1905, when oil tycoons were coming up and all that, if someone wasn't paying the workers well, you know what the workers did? They went to the fucking tycoon's house and murdered him and his family.
I'll go back further. 1773, bunch of American business owners got very mad about the changes in the way that the home government of the Kingdom of England and the in Britain decided to how do they decide to change the tax code regarding tea products? And they got together and destroyed all the tea products on a ship that was importing it.
Oh yeah, it was
Dressed up in racist Indian garb.
to blame to
Um,
have a scapegoat because they needed a
yeah, to have a
scapegoat.
scapegoat, and I'm sure there was some violence involved. I don't know if I don't
Yes,
remember.
yeah, a couple of
Did
guards
anyone
because the
actually?
boat they got
Did
hurt.
anyone? They
They
got
didn't
hurt.
get killed. They
Okay.
got hurt because how do you get past the guards of the boat? Every back then, every like a warehouse, the boats were mobile warehouses.
Yep.
So every warehouse has a security guard today. You think boats didn't have it? Of course they did.
Yep.
They beat the
All
shit
them
out of those guys. They beat the shit out of them. And I
beat the
go,
shit out of
it
them.
it,
Dump the
it,
tea.
it wouldn't surprise me if two of them, if some of them died. Let's be honest. Would it surprise you?
Hmm.
No. And
And
also
it
too, ninety
triggered a
thousand. Yeah.
revolution that gave us a country a decade later.
And it was $90,000 in damage. Did you know that? For back then, like no, that money, $90,000 in damage.
What is that in? What is that adjusted for inflation?
They call it, you know what it is? The adjusted inflation is fuck you to the employer. Fuck you to tyranny.
Gonna do the CPI on
Yeah.
1773.
But
Do they even
it,
use dollars? Are they still in the British pound?
right? But that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't even think they
Why?
came up with
Hey,
dollars
hey,
yet.
and here's the thing, to go further into that, you know that our American business owners didn't take action until the ninth increase of T-tax.
Yeah.
It took so so let's not be like, oh, they stood for something. It took them it took eight tax raises for them to get off their asses and do shit for the common
Hmm.
man. So let's say it was always left at one. They just raised the taxes one. Oh, even better. They raised the taxes only seven times. We might
Hmm.
still be British. No, really. It took eight times for our American business leaders to be like this. All right, this is a problem. Really?
We might have
Really?
ended up being like Canada, where
Yeah.
we're technically still property of the crown, but they're just like F. Or maybe
They,
we're part of Canada. Maybe they just united the two. Maybe if that didn't happen, the Canada and the U.S. would just be a one country, like what Trump wants.
yeah.
But if
But here's the thing, though. So we can't call our founding fathers these great men if it took eight tax raises for them to do shit for the common man. Hell, George Carlin said it great. America, home of the double standard. Slave owners wanting freedom.
yep,
Or better yet, because I really enjoy this movie and everyone should watch it because of the ending scene, killing them softly. America's not a country. It's just a business. So just fucking pay us.
that's
All Jefferson did was write a couple of words to rally the rabble and get people to fight for him, even though he was a rich wine slob who was fucking his slaves and his children lived in slavery. So
I
no.
I just think about how like modern day rich people that get attention are feeling more emboldened to say crazy shit publicly, and
Especially with black people.
it reminds me because as I've always said, a lot of the problems of America you can basically just point to Ronald Reagan. It's like it all started with Reagan. Um, I think it's fitting that like Reagan. I'll give Reagan this. Good looking dude, even in his old age. I think he aged quite well. You know,
Yes, the dementia wasn't too bad looking on him.
it was it didn't show. Yeah, yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
forgets
Actually,
that. Everyone forgets that. It's just Biden who had
they were
dementia. No, it was Reagan.
he was careful to not let the dementia be super obvious. And
Robin
now
Williams saw that shit.
we essentially, and that was the decade of like, let's celebrate excess, the rise of the tycoon. Like suddenly wealth was like a thing to be worshipped and now we're seeing kind of that same culture in the era of Trump where like you said, it's like the some guy could just go on a podcast and be like, you're a loser if you make less than 400K. Or the or like when you were talking to me about like that one interview with Clavicular
Oh yeah,
who
and it
was
actually,
like, if I'm not filming anything for content, then what's the point of doing anything? If I'm not
yeah,
filming, if what's the point of doing anything? And it's, super materialist, but now it's under Trump. It's under a guy who's ugly as fuck, who looks like a fat slob with an abysmal comb over and a bad spray tan. It's like,
and people
an
worship it.
immensely degraded
Human.
version of Ronald Reagan, physically,
Hmm.
mentally, and symbolically, where it's the it's the joke about the sequel. It's a sloppier um
Cash
it's
grab.
a sloppier, trashier version of the first one. Uh, I was just thinking of that
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though,
symbolism in my head.
yeah, yeah, people still worship it. People bought all their books, all his books, The Art of the Steal or The
Yep.
Deal, whatever it's called. I don't give a shit. Even there, it's the whole thing is just the tycoons have gotten more emboldened, especially their kids. Because I'll go back a little bit because I think this happened during his term. Um, None of those kids of famous people got really punished that much for, just throwing money at scholarship funds and shit and trying to get into colleges for free.
Hmm.
So it's the same thing. It's just like I get it. If I bet it's fun to be rich. I bet it is. I wouldn't complain, but I'm not going to be a fucking inhuman asshole about it. I'm going to pay my people well. I mean, my grandma always had this thing because my mom would ask, like, I wonder how people become millionaires. Like just conversations she had, and she's like, by being assholes, by being sacrificing their humanity. You think people got super rich just through hard work alone? Trust me,
Hmm.
they did shit to get there. And not it might not be like, oh, what do you mean they buried a body? No, it could be like this thing where it's like as simple as this, and this shows you just the level of sacrifice to be super rich. Think about it before you do it. And this isn't anything like I'm downing him. My dad's closest friend. He's a very rich guy, very successful business owner with surfboards. I forget the exact name, but he just ran a good surfboard shop basically, really well.
Hmm.
During the time when he was younger, in his 20s, building it, doing the hustle and grind, he would every Monday buy 10 Taco Bell bean and cheese burritos, freeze eight, eat two that night, and that was his weekly dinner for almost, I think, a couple of years. Not downing the guy for that. I'm just saying, think of that small degree of sacrifice that he did,
Yeah.
and how rich he is. Yeah, that's good for him. Fuck no. Sorry. No,
Yeah.
fuck no. Like I get the hustle and grind. I get like, oh, I only slept 4 hours for about a couple of weeks because I was doing it. Fine. Fuck, can you like okay, Trump, because everyone talks about his horrible, disgusting McDonald's diet. It's like, dude, you did that for a couple of years, just bean and cheese burritos. It's like, and from Taco Bell, and you froze them and you've just microwaved them. I'm like, that's a sacrifice. That is a
Yeah.
very health-wise sacrifice. I know he doesn't have any health problems. I know that for sure. And he's a great guy. I love the man. Like I'm so happy that he's my dad's friend and I got to know him growing up. And I do love the guy. I'm not downing him, but I'm just showing you a small sample of sacrifice compared to
Hmm.
now when you look at the big gut dogs. What do you think they did? Who do you think they fucked over? That's the whole point of There Will Be Blood, by the way.
Hmm.
How do you get
Yep.
rich? How do you control the monopoly game and tycooning? You do. Our oil tycoons were all evil bastards. Even the
Yep.
railroad tycoons, as we
So I
saw in the
say
show
there's no
Hell on
such
Wheels.
thing as an ethical billionaire. Like, you cannot become that
And
ethically.
hey, and isn't that sad though?
Yep.
Because it sucks. Because it sucks. Because it should be that awesome thing where it's like, I'll have $1 billion, and then I'm part of making the world better. Like, okay, you say there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. You're right. Because even in our fiction, there isn't. Tony Stark sucks dick. Tony Stark sucks. He's a fucking
Hmm.
alcoholic asshole. He's part of the problem, actually. Going around to the MCU specifically,
Yeah.
he's the reason why we have Ultron. He's the reason why we have Civil War. He's the reason for why the Vulture was a problem in Homecoming
Hmm.
and Batman for the DC side. We're getting to the point now where it's like, dude, vigilantism is still bad. You're the problem. Oh, escalation. They buy we buy semi-automatics, they buy automatics. We start wearing Kevlar. They get armor-piercing rounds. And then there's you wearing a
And
mask,
and
jumping
here's
on
the
rooftops.
Joker.
Yeah. So you're right. Even in our fiction. Okay, here's another side simple story. Yes, it's DC, but it's still a singular story. Ozymandias. He's not an ethical billionaire because he killed almost 14 million people for peace. So no, you're right. It's sad to say it, but in reality and in our fiction, there actually is no such thing as an ethical fucking billionaire. There
Nope.
never was. And I've heard people say, like, oh, there was this black guy in Egypt thousands of years ago, richest man on earth, who would like throw gold just walking every 2 inches. I forget this king's name. It's like he owned slaves.
Yeah. It's
Doesn't matter.
Egypt a couple thousand years ago.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I mean more than that. Well, I mean Egypt was like what? I think this was even 5,000 years ago. But like, there's this one dude who was like, he was a king. He was black, and every like he did this Mecca. He did this pilgrimage to I think Mecca, and every 2 steps he took, he was just throwing out gold. Like that's how rich he was.
Mm.
But it's like this, yeah, because he had slaves though. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? There's no such thing, and that's the sad part about this reality. Because it'd be great if it could be, but we're past the point. It's like we're almost like it's too little, too late. We're past the point of no return. There can't be. And I'm not saying it's like, well, shouldn't someone have what if someone wants to rise up and build something? Build it. Just don't be an asshole. But unfortunately, there's a limit. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's what American Psycho is all about, people, because it talks about the American dream. There's a limit, and that word is called contentment.
Yeah.
Being content.
Hmm.
Because if we had contentment and if we had ethical people, we wouldn't have the Epstein files, which still, after almost 70 fucking days, Travis, not a
You've been
single
keeping
arrest.
count.
I haven't
Only
posted it be
70 days.
a little over 70 days. Now, I haven't posted it much like I did because I had that big crash out on day 42, as you saw.
Hmm.
Had a very big crash out, but it's been over 70 days since the last batch of Epstein files, folks, and there still hasn't been a single fucking arrest in this country, a single fucking thing, because guess we don't care about kids being fucking raped and eaten. I also, too, to get matters worse, our Pentagon is asking Ford and MGM, sorry, Ford and GM to start making weapons again. It's the 40s, folks. Get those Rosie Riveter posters back out.
Oh,
This is a
if
very
only if
fucking
only America was that cool to do that again.
this is a very infuriating time when we've also lost, what was it, the Forest Service got disbanded?
Yeah, they're gonna dismantle the Forest Service. That
Stuff's been sold off,
sucks.
by the way. By the way, I hope you know a lot of thousands of hundreds of thousands of acres have already been sold off for
Hmm.
lumber because apparently a forest doesn't have any value until it's, chopped down, which is a sad thing to say about this country. And it's a sad say the thing about any business because you could say like, well, in Europe they have lumber. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the world right now. I care about where I live to make it better so then we can pass that on to the rest of the world, which I thought we were doing after we defeated the Nazis and the Japanese, but oh well. At least the Nazis made rockets for us. At least we got to go to the moon again, which honestly, I didn't give a fuck about Artemis 2. I didn't because I'm like, we have more problems. We have so many more problems
See,
than like, we went around the moon, guys.
see, I was thinking like, this is where we should be blowing our money
We
on stuff
should
like
be.
this,
We should be, but I'm not thinking that when all this shit's happening.
not bombing, not just relentless perma war bombing in the Middle East because we just love killing Arabs and Persians and
With almost over 100,000 American troops on each side of the Asian continent ready to
yeah.
go. Yeah, we have 45,000 troops in South Korea alone, 50,000 ready to go in Iran, and hundreds and thousands of more being sent over. We're going to be spending a lot of money on our taxes because I guess that's where the budget has to go. But the whole
Wow.
thing about this episode is just take care of your workers, focus at home. Don't be a douchebag with your bottom line dollar stockholder meeting bullshit.
Hmm.
And people would be happy. And also, too, this is why we won't be also killing each other and hurting each other. Hey, pay us. Just pay us.
Yep.
Pay us. Just fucking pay us. Like fucking like people forget Fight Club. The subplot of that movie was un disgruntled workers. Remember that quote at the that one scene in the bathroom? We are
Oh
your
yeah.
gardeners. We are
Oh,
your busboys.
we
We
all
guard
know
you.
that
And
quote.
yeah, no, no, not the basement quote, the bathroom quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fuck with us.
Mm.
Stop fucking with us. We want to have mundane lives. You know, it'd be awesome if we could like, if everything was sit and situated. All I want to do is like 3 times a week, just hey, let's you and me watch a show. That's the highlight. It'd be a highlight of my week every time. I don't need to go to some fancy place. I don't need to see the world and find myself at some beautiful. if ethereal monument. Even as a Catholic, I just want to fucking hang out and chill. I want to be able to eat out 4 times a week. I do. I would like that. I would like to be able to go out and eat out 4 times a week, weekly. I don't care if it's healthy. I don't care what it does to my body. I don't care that. That's the point. Because it'd be fun. Wouldn't it be fun if you and I 3 times a week can just grab food together and tip and not have to worry about the fucking bill?
Sure.
I'm not asking us to have these six-figure jobs, dude. I'm just saying the jobs we have now.
That's why you should donate to our Patreon.
That was good. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I like that. That was good. But yeah, to everyone listening, please don't be stupid. Violence is never the answer, but the real truth is when they say that bullshit phrase of violence is the answer, it's not that. No, it just isn't the first one. Violence is an answer. It just shouldn't be your first or second
It's
one.
not the first answer.
No,
Yes, that
I'll
is
say this:
correct.
if violence is your first response, you're an asshole. If it's your second response, you're impatient. If it's your third response, yeah, it was pretty valid.
Yeah.
It's valid. That's the truth. Don't never say violence isn't the answer because violence got us America. Violence killed the Nazis. Violence destroyed the Japanese. Violence is why we love Mike Tyson. So don't bullshit us about violence
Yeah.
is not the answer. Don't say like, oh, these are domestic terrorists. These are scumbag people. Go fuck yourself. Because I know what my grandfather did. I know what
What
my
did
founding fathers did. I know what everyone
I,
before me
I just
did.
gotta look at the world and then
Take care of your
be
people.
and put yourself in a position to ask rhetorically, what did you expect?
Mm-hmm. What you expect? And here's the
Uh,
thing: wait till people get this. This isn't just disgruntled about pay. I'm still waiting for people to be disgruntled about the Epstein files. I'm still waiting for people to be disgruntled about this war. There's still a lot of more shit people could be setting shit on fire for. So let's just take this as a, all right, well, it's just warehouses. We'll figure this out. We can get around this. It's like it could get worse because one guy
yeah.
set a warehouse on fire. Wait till 100 dudes do it at once together and then get shot like dogs in the street by our law enforcement or military as a response. Yeah, that's gonna lead to great. Yeah, I know what happened in Ireland. I read that history.
Well, thanks for letting us vent, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, well, this is everyone's venting. This is a blue collar problem. This is a workers thing
mhm.
right now. This is a literally do not piss off your don't they say don't bite the hand that feeds you? Nah, man. Don't piss off the person who helps you cut the meat so you can feed you. Don't fucking
Uh,
piss off your waiters. Tip your,
uh,
hey, it's like Gary comedian says, tip your fucking waiter.
if you're looking for a good expense, sign up for a Patreon. Still less than a gallon of gas in California.
And it will be like that for the rest of the year, folks. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
I look forward to when that stops being true, but it's
What a
not.
great, hey,
So
what a great t-shirt we can make. We're cheaper than
yeah.
gas. Please, folks, again, subscribe to our Patreon. There's 7 exclusives with, but now after you watch this episode, there'll be an eight.
Yep.
Eight exclusive after once you go on. $5 a month. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are on the platform formerly known as Twitter, which is run by one of the assholes we were talking about. And we're on YouTube, so you can see our beautiful faces instead of listening to our silky, sweet voices. And we're going to keep doing more. We just ask for support. Hey, the more you follow, subscribe, notification, all that, the more the ball will roll. The avalanche will happen. And then we'll grow bigger. Production value, staff. Hey, don't worry. And I promise you this, people. This is our promise. When we get staff, we're going to fucking pay them. We're going to fucking pay them well. I'm going to make sure we pay them well and they have fucking insurance. I don't care. I don't even care how much I get paid.
Yeah.
We're taking care of our people, folks. We love you. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye, everyone.
Go listen to Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog.